Okay, so I'll start this off with the panel just so you kind of got an idea of what we're working with here. So this is coming in from outside. The meter is obviously on the other side of here, all the way up to here. So this kind of resides in the kitchen, and I'd love to get you a name on it, but I don't see anything that really tells you what it is, but I'm hoping you'll know by this. It looks like it's a 200 amp service. Furnace up there and standard stuff, just in case you may or may not need breakers. I look at everything kind of coming in. There is a couple of old ones that come in. One goes to the hot water heater, and the other one I'm not sure of. This, I believe, is the furnace, and this large one here went to the stove, and then this one here went to a dryer. So what we're kind of looking at here, and I'll back you out, is, so this is the front door or side door area. So what I'm looking for is a pot light to go up above the door here, and I have all the pot lights, everything ready to go. We'll put a pot light inside here, and again, the ceiling will be out of here for you. You'll have all open ceiling to work with. And then we'll take this light out altogether, and I'm going to move that wiring all the way down to just about the end here, where I'll put a pot light probably here. This was a wall before. We're going to make this an island area here. So in the ceiling here in the kitchen, what I'm looking to do is right about at the end here, just have a box put in. And what we're going to do is we're going to hang a pendant light down here. So we just have it on a switch somewhere in here. You and I can find that when we're in here. We'll run it. There are a lot of feeds existing for the old fan hood that was here. There was a power for that. There was an old fridge that got moved. That's over here now. So there is some power already running here, plus the one for the original stove is here. I've wrapped it up for you. It can be pulled back through and used again. I have the box and the plug for it. This light here was over the sink and will remain, but obviously it's an absolutely horrid fixture. We're going to change that to a pot light there. And the wiring for that is already there, as well as a receptacle in the wall. There is a receptacle here as well. This again is going to stay kitchen, and there's a receptacle here. I don't feel a need to run anything else, except that this here was for the dishwasher. It is on a separate feed coming off of the panel. I would like to put this into a box on the wall and be able to plug the dishwasher into it rather than hardwire it, if that's okay. Moving into this area here, so this will be the living room area. So what we're looking at doing here is, so right along this line here and in line with the pot lights already in the kitchen, I'm thinking of going 1, 2, 3, 4 pot lights here. And then coming down the opposite side over here, I'm looking at going 1, 2, 3, 4 this way. So 8 pot lights in this area. There is an existing plug here. It looks like a 3-way at some point. That does bring power up. One of it went to these lights, which we'll get out of here, but again, you'll have to, I guess you're going to run a new feed anyway for the pot lights, so we can bring it over and then start it over here, no problem. So we're looking at 8 pot lights in this area. The front all area here where the front door is, there's this existing ugly one. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to move that to a singular pot light right up here above the door, and then I'm going to bring another pot light and put it up in this area here. Those will run off of a switch that's already existing here in the wall. One runs the outside light, the other one runs the inside light, and the third one I have no freaking idea. I'm hoping when we get up in the ceiling we'll know where it is. But there is 3 sets of switches here which could be used. I'm going to, in the middle of this room, put a electrical box in which we're going to have a ceiling fan that we'll install with an LED light, which I hope to run off of one of those 3 switches that's already existing, so you don't have to run a new switch box. At the end of this room, we're going to put 2 pot lights, one in the very back corner, and then there's a fireplace here, and then in the very other corner on the other side of here, we're going to put a pot light there. So 1 pot light there, 1 pot light over there, a pot light at the beginning here, a pot light there, and then, of course, the box here in the middle where we're going to put the ceiling fan, so just a receptacle there. The only abnormality that I can find in this fucking house is this monstrosity right here when I took a wall out. This is a junction box, I am assuming, that the guys put in. However, it's right in the middle of my bloody walkway. My guess and my thought was, and I want you to have a chance to think about this, is I want to take this box here and I want to move it just around the other side of this stud and hopefully put it right in this corner here. There's plenty of depth here, and I think it would be okay to put it here, but I wanted you to at least look at it and see what you think. The other thing that's baffling to me, and you'll see them, are these metal lines that go right through the wood. I'm assuming back in the 70s when this was made, this was code and wires had to run through here. I don't know if you still have to do that. I'm assuming we just punch a hole through it and run this wire, this 8-3. But again, I'll leave that up to you. So that's kind of this area here in the kitchen. Not so bad. Now, I'll take you into the bathrooms here. This will be all framed now. So basically what I'm looking to do in here is there's an existing fixture here, and there was a vent fan here originally that ran off of a switch box here, which I've left dangling. I'm thinking a pot light right here and probably another pot light here. I mean, maybe both in line. We can talk about it, but it'll be another 2 pot lights here. Again, there is some wiring that's existing here. I just don't know where to put the switch box currently. Just because I had to reframe this area. So we'll have to find a spot to put the switch box, maybe in here somewhere, but neither here nor there. So yeah, we're looking at another 2 pot lights here, maybe 3. The vent fan will move out of here, just because I'm going to get rid of it so we don't have to worry about the vent fan. It won't be an issue. But I will need in here, a dryer is going to go on the top here. And so what I'll need on this wall here is the plumber's going to come and put the stack in. But he's going to wait for you. So somewhere on here, there'll be a washer on the bottom. And then it's going to be a dryer on the top. So I'll need a line run again from all the way down there. So you're looking at about 55, 60 feet. 25, 20, yeah. So probably about 55, 60 feet from the electrical box all the way down here to be able to be put in for the dryer. There is an existing 120 volts in here, which I'm sure we can bridge off of to put a receptacle for the washing machine, which is 110 volts. Should you need a separate line for the washing machine, we can run a separate line. That's no problem. I mean, like I said, everything in here is wide open, so you'll be able to make runs wherever you like. There is a feed that came from the switch box, 120 volts, over to here, which basically powers an outdoor light that's right there. And the light switch used to be on this wall. We're just going to put it on this wall. I'll explain it to you. It's nothing big. It's pretty easy. So 2 to 3 pot lights in this area. A 55 to 60 foot run of electrical for a dryer, 220 volt, I believe single phase. If I'm not mistaken, if it's 2-phase, you can correct me. And then I'll need one for the washing machine as well too. And like I said, there is receptacles here already that you may want to use or steal the power from. I'll leave that up to you. This bedroom here is basically fine. The only thing I would like to do, and I'd like to do it everywhere in the house, is these bloody receptacles are from probably the early 80s. I'd like to go with, you know, I don't know, GFI ones, or at least safer receptacles of some sort. Maybe not GFI in a bedroom, but just if we could update all the receptacles in here, and I'll count them out for you. And the light switches. I mean, these are horrible from 1980. I'd like to get rid of them. Moving into here, this is the master bedroom. There was an existing light switch here, and that light switch actually goes all the way down and powers the receptacle here, which had a hanging light up here. What I want to do is take the wire off of that, or at least bridge gap it from here, and I want to put a receptacle up here in the ceiling, about middle of the room. That's going to be for a ceiling fan that she's going to have put in there. Again, I'd like to move this receptacle then over closer to the corner, and I'd like to move this one from the wall here over to the corner on there, because she's going to have her bed right here and 2 end tables. So I'd like that. This one again can kind of stay where it is. This one can stay where it is. And then this one here, I'd like to move up high and into the middle, because there's going to be a TV put up here, and I'm going to run cable to it as well. So if we can just move that. And again, same thing. I'd like to replace all the receptacles and get them more modern. I will happily give you the number of receptacles that are in here. And then you can buy them, or we can go and grab them when you come up, whatever. Going into the master bath, this is going to be now. Again, they had a switch here that was a 3-way. One went to the vent fan up there. The other powered the light that's hanging here. It is really bizarre in here. You'll have to forgive it. This wall will all be out of here. This is going to be a bathtub now. So what I'm looking at here is, this is going to be a vanity. So I'm looking at a pot light here, a pot light here, and probably a receptacle line somewhere in here in case you want to plug in a hair dryer or a curling iron or something like that. Toilet's going to go there, tub there. I might, this one here, I'm going to get you to look at. It is an older style of wire. I don't know if it's up to code or not. I would like to put a 220 volt in here because I'm going to put a electric hot water heater here. So I'll need a 220 put in here. And I'm going to guess that wire is too old to put a 220 into. And it should be updated at some point. So maybe we can run a line down here, 220. And we'll leave a receptacle that the hot water tank can be plugged into. This is a gas one, and as such is illegal in a bathroom, so I have to remove it and replace it with an electric one, which of course runs 220 for the element. So I'll need a 220 back here. Again, there's a light switch here that turned this light on separately. This was kind of like a closet before. We can use that light to switch the power to 2 pot lights, which are going to be over here. And I'll probably put another pot light over here somewhere, maybe a second one. And I'm going to put one over the bathtub as well. This vent fan is also going to need to be wired into whichever switch. We'll probably have to put one maybe over here for the one above the bath, or maybe we can jump it into that one, maybe a double right there, one for the fan, one for the light, just because this is a bathroom and I got to have a vent fan to take stuff out on. Aside from that, there's not a heck of a lot more in here. Like I said, it's a small space. I mentioned that stove one before. It's curled up there. We can use that existing. It's going to go down here in the kitchen. I'll mark it for you. That's no problem. I do have the box and the plug for that as well as I do have the dryer one that was here originally. I will take this off, but as you can see, the feed for it is very short, as it just comes right up and goes into the box there, so it's basically useless for us. And I don't think it's long enough to use for the stove. So, like I said, we will need a new 230, I want to say it's single phase, but it's probably double, to run from here. And again, there's already a breaker for it, but we're going to have to run it all the way down. And I'm going to say it's 55, 60 feet to where the washer and dryer are going to go. That is probably it that I can think about. My name's Keegan. My telephone number is 416-839-5659. If you got any questions, let me know. I'm going to have Holly, since I don't have your number, I'm going to have Holly text you the number of receptacles that I'd like, the number of light switches, and I'll probably go with dimmers. I can buy them myself if that's easy for you and you can put them in. I just didn't know how you want it to work it. So let me at least give you this. You can click on the link, look at this video, and then if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call back, or if you'd like to see a certain area a little bit more before you come up. I'm here most of the time. Just let me know. I can FaceTime you, whatever you like. All right. Thanks, man.